Amy, Avaria is real. For the last few months, everybody coming through town brings it up. Haven't you heard? Avaria's real. They found it. Or more like, you found us. This would be like in our world, we all learned that Atlantis was real. Right? But we aren't talking about a city, we're talking about one of the world's largest islands. We're talking about the island, the Lost Island. The Lost Island that was supposedly so important to the gods that we mere mortals were not allowed to access it anymore. Or some people tell the story of a dragon who hoarded this island all for itself. Either way, everyone has their own story about Avaria, even if the kids today call it Neverland. Most people don't even believe their own stories. They just want to have a belief. Whatever you believed about this island, you're about to find out if any of this is true, because you're headed there right now. Hello, everybody. I'm GM Ven, and today I'm here with...
I'm Honey Riz, and welcome to Honey and Tea RPG.
Today we're going to be exploring Riz's character for our upcoming Shadowdark RPG game, which is going to be a dark twist on the Neverland setting, as the colony of Harrow is being established by the Kingdom of Cedar upon this lost island that had disappeared from the continent and recently reappeared on this Earth. Or on this planet. I suppose it's not really Earth. The planet is called Serdelm. But as we dive into this Shadowdark RPG adventure, we are going to be taking a look at the character that you made.
Amy, my girl.
We talked a little bit beforehand about this character's backstory, and now we're going to be sharing that with you.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right into it. So right here we have Amy Palmer, the level 3 elf wizard who is coming on a ship to the colony of Harrow, unknowing what is to come.
Oh, gee willikers.
Gee willikers.
Yeah.
Yes, so Amy is coming to this island. You want to tell us a bit about her, starting with her stats here?
Listen, she is not the strongest in her physique, but the strongest organ of them all, the brain, right? Mm-hmm. Amy is very weak, but she makes up with it with her intelligence. She makes up for it.
Alright. So in games like this, usually a 10 would be like an average, like adults capable.
And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I usually roll high.
Mm-hmm.
I am used to having characters who have like all positive stats.
Yes.
This hurt my ego. This humbled me a little bit.
This is a system where you simply roll 3d6 to decide what your stats are. And just going down the line, we have a 5 strength, a 8 dex, a 14 con, a 16 intelligence, an 8 wisdom, and a 9 charisma. So most of your stats are below average, but your intelligence and your constitution are higher than normal. And I believe that intelligence actually started a little bit lower, but because you're level 3 now, you got 2 bonuses to your intelligence from your rolls on the class table.
We fought for that level 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Well, you're gifted this level 3. You didn't have to go through a single adventure to earn this level 3.
I definitely made some deals.
Yes. Well, since we are playing this duet style with a single player who is also going to be maneuvering around 2 little sidekicks who we'll talk about later, I thought, for the survivability of it all, since we're going to be going through dungeons with a single player, starting you off at level 3 seemed like the best bet.
I couldn't agree more.
Yes.
I'd only agree more if you said levels 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm. I bet you would. So let's take a look at the backstory here that you've put together for Amy Palmer. We sorted this into a few different categories for your backstory. First was home, then friends and family, then past details,
Yeah.
and then a little bit of what happened that led to you gaining level 1 and level 2.
Yes.
Now, in this system, leveling up is about the loot that you find, the treasures that you experience.
Love a good treasure.
Well, I say treasures that you experience, but the treasures that you find along the way.
Yeah. Maybe the real treasure was the friends who
Yes.
made along the way.
Maybe. Well, let's jump right into this then.
Yes, okay,
So
perfect.
tell me a bit about Amy Palmer.
Okay, so Amy Palmer grew up in a small, like, metropolitan town with a lot of kind of like vendors, a lot of diverse people, you know, going in and out, just trying to sell their things. I imagine this as if anyone plays Stardew Valley, the night market, you know, and there's always a couple of locals who will always stay every week or so, but for the most part, new people, new faces, really helps with Amy and being more open-minded and wanting to kind of experiment with magic, you know. The locals are all like very tight-knit, and there's this whole kind of familial bond to the people who do stay, you know.
All right. So there's a lot of people who come in and out, but there are the people who built this town and stayed in this town.
Yeah,
And
you know.
your family is one of those people, correct?
Yeah, and they're proud of it. My family of beekeepers, you know, gotta stay true to the brand.
Yes. So you have like an almost permanent stall in this market
Yeah.
where your family sells honey, correct?
Yeah. And this is not just any regular honey. This is a special kind of honey that my oldest sister helps make.
All right.
And yeah, this has healing properties.
So tell me a bit more about this family structure, because I see that you're the middle child of 5 children.
Yes.
Who are the other 4?
Okay, so Amy just has to be a middle child. Like, she's screaming middle child. So she has 2 twin brothers that are like younger than her, and then she has an older sibling, and then after that is the eldest daughter, which is like the oldest in the family.
All right.
She lives with her siblings alongside her mom, her dad, and her grandfather from her mom's side. I named the mom, dad, and grandfather Len, Mags, and Hirsch. We named it.
Yes.
And if anyone understands that reference, I have 3 questions for you.
All right. So, that we've gone through your home, your friends, and your family.
Yeah.
Are there any other people who are significant to you?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention my Grandpa Hirsch, pirate. Was a
Okay.
pirate, was a badass, and decided, you know what, this pirate life, too much. I'm gonna hang out with some bees. All right, we're gonna make some honey.
These bees, I'm pretty sure we discussed, are giant fluffy bees.
Yeah, think of like
right?
like GMO bees.
Yes.
Like they're big boys. They're like scary, but they're cute.
I'm
you
thinking
know?
like Minecraft bees.
I'm thinking
right?
if you have ever experienced Minecraft in the VR, like the size of that bee, it's pretty accurate.
All right. So with that in mind, I'm thinking, well, your pirate grandpa, he's the one who sort of started this business, right?
Yeah, he is the one who taught my mother how to tend to the bees. Got my father into it. Got all the children into it. You know?
And you're going to have a bee with you as your wizard familiar.
Yes, my little queen bee, Bo the queen bee. I
Yes.
already named her. She has a little crown, you know, because it's cute.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Amy Palmer here, and you said Bo is the name?
Yeah, Bo the bee.
Bo the bee. Gotcha.
Bo the queen bee.
All
Queen
right.
Bo.
So, Queen Bo here is with you. I see something about a childhood friend's mom. She's a
Yeah.
wizard who sells tea.
Yes.
So, tell me a bit more about your childhood friend and their mom.
So, when Amy was younger, she would often go around the vendors whenever her family was working, and she would always have her little cup of honey that she can like use to trade around. And she has this childhood friend, and both of their parents are vendors, and so this childhood friend's mom was a wizard, and somehow, some way, this childhood friend died. And I don't quite remember all of the details, but ever since then, his mom has been trying to protect me, trying to teach me magic, even though it's not necessarily allowed in town. You know, she sells flowers and teas in the little vending shops, but behind the scenes, you know, she helps me with my little magic interests.
All right. So this mentor of yours, which I believe comes from your background, right?
Yeah.
You were an apprentice.
I was.
Who ended up becoming banished.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And we'll jump into how that happened by looking at our past details.
Oh my goodness.
So
yes.
it sounds like this mentor, after losing her son, sort of saw potential in you and wanted to give you your own sort of strength, right? Because you are small the way that her son was small. You have a 5 strength, in fact.
Yeah, I am not very strong physically, but I think even then she knew that I was a quick thinker, you know, and I think that growing up with all of these siblings, it was kind of hard to get a lot of attention from the family, you know, and so being able to be trained in the way that my older sister was trained with like the bees and the honey, you know, this magic is mine, and I feel very close to it, and I feel very close to my mentor because of that.
All right. So, what is the adventure that sparked your first level?
Yes, okay, so when Amy was trying to practice magic, like in private, she was kind of going through like these old ruins, and these ruins happened to be like a library, and she was looking through all of the spell scrolls, and she, you know, just got a little too excited, a little too reckless, tried to cast one of the spell scrolls, but unbeknownst to her, her 2 twin brothers decided to like follow her and see where she was going, because she would always just disappear to like practice magic. And so they saw, but by the time Amy tried to cast the spell, which was kind of a portal into the Fey circle, or the Fey world, her brothers ended up getting stuck in there, and so she had to go in and try to undo her mistake and try to save her brothers.
So 3 kids disappear from town into a Fey portal.
Yes.
What are the ramifications on the other side while you're having your Fey adventure?
Oh, obviously, like, my parents are in a panic, right? Because they've always been scared of not quite magic, but maybe more of breaking the law and being in trouble, you know? We have a good thing going on in our little town, and it would be unwise to mess any of that up. But
yes, you follow the goddess of order despite being a chaotic character.
yeah, you know, and in my head, this little town has a lot of, like, silly little customs that I love, you know? They are really into rules in the way that people who worship a god of order would, but I think that Amy really likes the absurd and wants to like kind of lean into that. And so when the 3 kids were gone, everyone thought that it was my mentor who did it, and decided to apprehend her and arrest her. Yeah, and when I got out of the Fey circle, I managed to get both of my brothers out, but I saved a little fairy on the way, and now that is my familiar,
Or your sidekick?
my little sidekick. Yeah.
All right. So we have a party starting to collect here.
Yeah,
We
I'm getting
have
friends.
Amy Palmer, the level 3, or well, at that point you would have been a level 1
Yeah.
wizard from your adventure in the Feywild.
Yeah.
But you've returned with a fairy who's with you.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit about this fairy?
Quinn Hightopple, you will always be famous. Quinn Hightopple is a silly little bard fairy who was always made fun of and teased in his little world. But
If that name sounds familiar, you might have heard it from the Dragon of Ice Spire Peak, the D&D 5th edition module. Quinn Hightopple was the sidekick that Riz had picked when we ran that module together.
yeah, and Pickled Pete.
Pickled Pete was also there. But Quinn Hightopple, one of the sidekicks from that module, we were adapting into here, and instead of a halfling, he's going to be a fairy.
Yeah.
And I thought we were changing the name, actually.
Oh,
to
did I say-
Kellen
did I say
Hightopple.
Quinn?
You did.
Oh, I
yes.
meant Kellen. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
You're right.
Well, it's going to take some getting used to because you had
Yes.
one called Quinn.
Yes, Kellen. I wonder where we came up with these names.
Right?
I think the best part of D&D and like role-playing games in general is just like naming
Yeah,
all of these
you get
things.
to take from what you love, you know?
Yeah.
We took from The Walking Dead, and we're
Oh
taking
my gosh, you
from
spoiled
the other
it.
one. What do you mean about
Oh my gosh,
Len,
no, they
Mags,
forgot.
and a Hirsch? Yeah,
And
they forgot.
Hirsch.
They forgot.
I forgot.
So, with that in mind, you were in the Feywild, and you escaped with this fairy alongside your siblings.
Yeah.
To discover that your mentor has been locked up. And this Fey, while you were in the Feywild, was able to enchant your Beekeeper's hat.
Yeah, and so a little veil comes out when I need it, and then it protects me from piercing damage and. Oh wait, is that what we said?
Yes, it gives you a -1 for all piercing damage
Yes.
or poison damage.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it's a mask that a beekeeper uses to like do
Mm-hmm.
like the gas things, and then a bee can't sting me while I'm wearing this mask. You
Yeah.
know, the bee works for me.
This is true. The bee does work for you.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, we have to figure out what item is it that got you from level 2 to level 3. Because this is the item that got you from 1 to 2, since treasure is what sort of
Yes.
influences XP.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so what I was thinking of, and this is gonna be like the main reason that I got banished, it's because when I get back with my brothers to like the town,
And you learn that your mentor has been arrested.
yeah, I try and say, hey, it was me, I messed up, but no one believes this little witch or witch wannabe
Yeah.
is doing all of this. And so she decided to take matters into her own hands and free her mentor herself. And on the way out, she sees this broom and listen, have you ever watched The Wicked the musical? Have you ever seen?
I have not, actually.
Have you ever-
I have not seen Wicked, actually.
This is like a defying gravity kind of moment of the sense of this broomstick is the thing that's going to help them escape. This thing will increase my speed, and right before we escape, I see like the guards like looking at us and be like, "Hey!" But no match for my broomstick. And
Yes.
this is where I get this little thing.
So this broomstick will end up being your spellcasting focus.
Yeah.
We just decided that it won't give you flight because that's a little bit powerful
Yeah.
to start off with in an RPG like this.
And my level 2 spell is levitates.
Oh, yes.
So it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If I'm flying, I'm using a levitate spell.
That makes sense.
Yes.
So this is what you're able to project your magic through, but it
Yes.
also speeds you up because you're able to do a little bit of a hover off of the ground.
Yeah.
Not more than a few inches, but it makes it so that you can travel without friction. Kind
Yeah,
of
it's
like
smooth.
Omni-Man in the first episode
Yes.
of Invincible.
Yes.
Where he fights by hovering to reduce the friction.
It's for, wow, 2 mentions of Stephen Yen.
Right?
Yeah.
You're right.
Shout out to you, Stephen Yen.
Yeah, you got Invincible and Walking Dead?
Yeah.
All right. Really, take from the things you love.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So, with that in mind, you're now banished along with your mentor.
Yes, we are. We're in it together. You
You're
go,
in
I
it
go.
together. You're a fugitive on the run, and you guys have decided collectively, your party here, which now includes Amy Palmer, your mentor, whose name is to be determined.
To be announced. It's a secret.
We have Kellen Hightopple, the
Kellen.
fairy who you found in the Feywild, and we have Queen Bo,
Yes.
your giant bee,
Yes.
who is your familiar.
She can't talk, but I would like her buzzes to be like buzz buzz bitches.
Oh my goodness, yeah. She can't talk, but that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's
what
all I
she's
ask.
saying?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can do that for sure.
Thank you.
All right. So, we have your full party here.
Yeah. Squad
Currently
goals.
on the ship to the colony of Harrow to explore this island that has disappeared from the face of the world thousands of years ago and has recently reappeared with a bunch of mysteries to solve.
Yeah.
The different legends of what you might find on this boat are harrowing, but
like that.
we'll see what comes about.
OG Willikers.
OG Willikers. Yes. All right. Well, everybody, this was our session 0.5 introduction to Amy Palmer and her party.
Yes.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching.
What should we do for the comments in this video?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I have an idea.
Yes.
So, I recently learned how to do a clown, and I would like everyone to do a clown for me. So, I'm gonna draw it real quick for you guys. You want to do, if you watch all the way through, you want to do a colon like this, a lowercase o, and a smiley face. And if you even want, you can add a hat. And how do you add a hat? You guys know how. I taught you.
There you go.
All right. But if you want to do a regular clown, that's okay too, you know?
Why were you learning how to do a clown? Is it from your One Piece marathon?
Okay, guys, let me talk real quick about how Buggy the Clown and red-haired Shanks belong together. This is my agenda. This is...
All right, everybody.
Okay, wait,
keep
but have we
your
considered One
tea
Piece
hot and your honey
honey
sweet.
sweet?